Now here's our third video. In our second video, we talked about the different types of triangles. It's also important to talk about the different types of quadrilaterals. In your homework, you probably answered that question as some of the other ones that you've remembered. We've seen a few so far. Let's take a look at the different types we have. We've seen a rectangle in our homework. Rectangles are quadrilaterals with all 90-degree angles and opposite sides are equal. A square, we saw that just a little bit ago. All sides are equal and we have 90-degree angles. Now here comes a few that we might remember or we might not. We have a rhombus. The criteria for something to be a rhombus is that all the sides are congruent, but the angles can be different. We have something called a parallelogram. That's where all the opposite sides are parallel, but the angles can be different. We have something called a trapezoid, and the characteristic to a trapezoid is that the top, there are two opposite sides that are parallel. So in this case, the top and the bottom side is shown parallel. Parallel means that they are going the same direction. They don't touch at all. They are straight with each other. You can think about it that way. So like a parallelogram, those opposite sides are parallel. Last but not least, we have a kite. A kite, we have the sides that touch each other the same. We have pairs of sides that are the same length, but they are not opposite. For now, you can remember the shapes by the picture and less about the definitions. Notice that you see the word equal. What's a better word for that? That's right, congruent. Here's an exercise for you. Try to match the pictures with the names. You can drag the names to each picture to see if you can find the shapes in these pictures. Go ahead and pause the video. So hopefully you were able to find your shapes this way. Now that we've looked a little bit more deeper into triangles and quadrilaterals, our Venn diagrams can be a little bit more complex now. And there are more criteria that I can use to help you sort the different shapes. So here's one. We have one criteria is 4 vertices or more, and the other one is at least one right angle. Go ahead and pause the video and try to see if you can sort these shapes into the right places. There might be ones that don't belong in there at all. So here we have it. If you need to correct yours, you can go ahead and correct yours. If there are questions, please write your questions down. You're probably wondering why trapezoid belongs in there, because we didn't see one with a right angle before. But if you remember from your homework, we actually have seen something like that. Here's another exercise. And you can go ahead and pause the video. This should be your result. Let me know if I made a mistake. Here's our last exercise for today. And this should be your result. Go ahead and correct yours if you need. Write down questions as well. We're to our final checkpoint now. What is one thing that made sense to you and one thing that was confusing? Go ahead and write that down. Here's a sentence starter for you. One thing that made sense was, but was confusing. Good work today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.